Hey guys, what is up? So, I was just sitting here winding down from the day, having some thoughts, wanted to jump on and share a little bit of something with you. So, first of all, happy Monday. What is up, guys? I see you jumping on. Hey, Emily. So, one of the things I want to talk about, so first of all, a lot of you guys like that I'm connected with, I've either just met randomly or we've met through specific people or in certain coaching groups or marketing groups or events or whatever. So one of the things that I wanted to get on here and talk about really quickly is just like the big giant world that is coaching, and that is expanding and learning and all of those things, because I feel like there is a big issue or misconception about that. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about like my personal history with hiring coaches in my life, and then just give you guys some information. So basically, the idea of having a coach for any part of your life has been going on for a very, very, very long time, right? Like, this is not a new thing. It did not start with Tony Robbins or Brendon Burchard, and a lot of people seem to think that, like, Tony Robbins is, like, the ultimate life coach. Okay, sure, he is amazing, don't get me wrong. But there are thousands and thousands of people who do things, like, similar to what Tony Robbins does, but in different areas of life, for different business owners, for all kinds of different things. Some people teach exactly what he teaches. Some people do their own version of things, blah, blah, blah. So one of the things that I find so interesting about that is that we all need to realize that just like there's, 72 different carpenters in your town to choose from, there are tons of coaches to choose from too. You might not resonate with all of them, just like you might have someone come over to do an estimate on your house and you don't really like the guy who came over. You don't get a good feeling from him. You're not really happy with the way that he wrote up his bid. Does that mean you don't like that he's bad at his job? No. Does that mean that he's right for you? Maybe not. So you get to make that decision. The other part of that too is, does that mean that he's the only person in the world who knows how to do what you need him to do? Absolutely not. So the same concept around coaching exists. Like me, myself, I hired my first coach about 4 years ago now, I guess. Close to it. Her name is Susie, and I worked with her for about a year. While I worked with her, I did some other courses, and I worked with a few different people along the way. Hey, mama. Worked with other people along the way, too. But I just actually sat here for a second ago and just wrote out a list of, like, in the past 4 years, how many coaches I've personally had that I've, like, worked with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 coaches I've worked with in the last 4 years. So, just like every Italian restaurant makes a chicken parm. And they're all a little different, Chris, aren't they? Doesn't mean that they're all bad. Doesn't mean that they're all great. They all certainly make it, and they all certainly didn't come up with the recipe for the very first time. Okay, let's be real there. Anyways, so I personally learned how to create and take the knowledge that I have from my past, working in big, David, isn't that the truth? Jesus is the OG of coaching. No joke, for real. Like, let's be real. Marcus Aurelius, for example. I mean, he's a great example. I'm pretty sure he's like I said, I don't know the time-wise there, but anyway, like, he is one of the first. But so you go through, and like when I hired Susie, her and I primarily worked on business. She's one of the first people, though, that helped me back myself into a corner, basically, and had to figure out what to do with my company to make it work. We took my skills that I had and packaged them into like these really cool things in ways that I could help the world. She helped me see things very differently. She helped me start to live my life on a different level, and it progressed from there. Susie was one of the first people that opened my eyes to a lot of things. And then it progressed to hiring mindset coaches, to hiring money mindset people, hiring people to help me with alignment and focus. And basically over the years, learning and learning from each one of these people. Am I going to say that the 11 different humans that I have invested money in, not just time, not taking free courses, these are people I've given money to, have they all taught me brand new things? No. They all have a different way of delivering similar messages or their own spin on it. They have their own experiences, their own ways of teaching it, their own ways that they've taken these not general, but these like foundational ways of living, of expanding, of being a better human being, of being the best version of yourself, of finding clarity, of being in alignment. Each one of these people have taught me very similar things, but at different times in my life and with different delivery, and have helped me grow and mold into the person that I am today. So here's what people need to understand. There's thousands and thousands of coaches, and I'm one of them, right? And many of us teach the same thing. We just do it in our own way, right? We all teach very similar things. We all teach things that we've learned from other people. Okay? Like this is nothing. These aren't things that we're cultivating out of the clear blue sky. Sure, we have specific ways of teaching that. We have ways that are our way of doing it. Like I have my way of operating and my way of teaching people to plan and time manage and all of that stuff. But then you can look at Tim Ferriss and he has his way of teaching people to time manage and lifestyle design. And I have my way. There's nothing wrong with his way. There's nothing wrong with my way. You get what I'm saying here? So I just wanted to show you guys, explain that to you, because I think it's extremely important to understand that truly when you're growing and you're expanding, you do move on to different coaches or different people in different areas of your life. Like right now, I'm personally looking to hire a new mindset coach, making a decision about who I'm going to hire. I'm in a place in my business and marketing and all of that I don't necessarily need to add anything new in. I just want to continue to go deeper and deeper when it comes to my own mindset. So that's where I'm personally at right now. But I feel like, I sit here and look and like Susie, Kat, Brittany, Christy, Marie, Pollyanna, all of them help people with their businesses. Some of them helped me with my business. Some of them, I didn't even talk about my business with them. You get what I mean? We talked about different things. It just depended on what we were looking for. Michael, each coach is different and they all explain things differently. That's why it helps. Absolutely. And we're all at different parts of our lives sometimes, and we resonate with certain people. That doesn't mean other people are wrong at all. Like I have all these books in front of me right now is because like some people are seeming to understand, like not understand that like a lot of the things that people are teaching and running courses on and doing coaching on, like this is no brand new information. Okay. So this book right here is an amazing book. If you haven't read it, you should. How to Win Friends and Influence People. My arms are shaking. If you see that, it's because I like literally did the most killer freaking upper body workout a few hours ago. But How to Win Friends and Influence People. This has been in print for over 75 years. Okay. Some of the foundational purpose, like ways of living and simplifying and breaking down life-changing concepts of this book, I talk about, I teach, I use them all the time. So over 75 years in print, okay? Let's think about that for a second. And then we have the 4 agreements. He's teaching, in this book, he's teaching things from hundreds of years ago. Right? That we can all implement into our lives now. That several people have literally taken the concept of the 4 agreements and created their own businesses off of it. That's fucking awesome. There's nothing wrong with that. And then you have this book, Pulling Your Own Strings. Wayne has tons of books out there. And I'm pretty sure this has been, over 3 million copies in print. I'm pretty sure this originally was printed in like the 70s, I think. Anyway, dynamic techniques for dealing with other people and living your life as you choose. How many times have you guys heard me specifically say that? Of living your life as you choose. That's what my whole business is based off of, living intentionally. Does that mean I'm stealing from him? No, it certainly doesn't. The Go-Giver. Very simple principles delivered in an amazing package. If you haven't read this book, you should. It's fucking great, by the way. This one, You Are a Badass. She's not teaching you anything brand fucking new, guys. She just puts it in a different way. Seth Godin. Tribes. People have been creating tribes since the beginning of freaking time. Have they not? As a Man Thinketh. James Allen. This book was what, written in the 20s? Shit. And all of the books that he's written, Think and Grow Rich, The Science of Getting Rich, The Way of the Wealthy, like all of these books that are still written by these similar people. Like The Way of the Wealthy was written by Benjamin Franklin, for God's sakes. Blows my mind. Anyway, The Alchemist. All things that people can take and live today. Correct, right? This is the 25th anniversary of this book that I bought, and I'm pretty sure this book had been in publication for close to 50 years when I bought this. The Way of the Superior Man. Huh. So here's what's fun about my job. I work with a lot of men. So I read The Way of the Superior Man because I find the male brain fascinating. And I actually think very similar to most men. But if you read The Way of the Superior Man, a lot of the things that are taught in this book go all the way back to like samurai training. Like fucking, how many years ago was that? Jeez Louise. We're talking about like thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, right? And then you can even pull this book up by Brendon Burchard, The Motivation Manifesto. This is definitely one I will tell you that unless you're a little further along in your personal development journey, I would not suggest this book because it's very, very deep. And it's a little difficult sometimes. Even this is a woman. This is a female-oriented book. She actually, The Warrior Goddess Training, I've read several times. And this book is actually, she trained directly under Don Miguel Ruiz. I don't know if you guys know that, but she did. So she trained underneath of him. So she teaches you basically directly off of the same Toltec methods, which is awesome. And then this is a brilliant book if you've never read it. The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. These are all things. These are all tools, right? Just like a coach that you hire, just like a course that you take, just like a mastermind program that you invest in, just like a marketing event that you attend. Each one of these books and each one of those things is a tool. I'm a tool. I know that. I'm a tool to several people, and I like that. So, I want you to remember that everyone has things to teach you. Whether you agree with them or you don't, you should be a well-rounded enough human, or shall I say, a open-minded enough person that you can see situations and take good things from them. Correct? No matter what. No matter what. Do I agree with every word written in these books? No. Do I agree with every method? No. But I learned from them. And what did that do? That allowed me to choose what works for me, what I feel like works for my clients, what I feel like works for other people. It allowed me to become a much deeper, well-rounded, and better coach. Not only a better human, but a better coach. So, please keep that in mind and realize that there are so many people out there teaching very similar things, just like there's so many people selling construction, or that are financial advisors, or that are massage therapists. They all have different techniques. They all do pretty much the same thing. They just wrap it in a different package. So, I just wanted to share that with you. A couple other people that I read a lot from that are on audiobooks is Gabby Bernstein and Liz Gilbert and Gary Vaynerchuk, and Tim Ferriss. Like Tim Ferriss, his business is based, like his speaking business is based around time management and life design. And I don't agree with 75% of what he teaches. We teach and stand on like a very similar platform. Same with Brendon Burchard. But I don't believe that there's a one method to help everyone. But I have, guess what? That's my fucking prerogative, right? I can choose to do that. So anyways, I just wanted to get on here really quick and have this conversation and kind of shine a little light on the fact that, number one, coaching has been around longer than most of us have been alive. Let's be honest. And Tony Robbins is not the only coach in the world. He's not the first one. He's not the first one to teach you how to live your life and take control of it. Let's be fucking honest. He just does it on a much bigger scale. He does it on a really great scale. Don't get me wrong. I fucking love him and I will meet him in my life and I just want to hug him because he's massive and I love giant-sized human beings. I'll probably cry the whole time because he's such a powerful person. I'll probably just bawl my eyes out. I cry in like the first 60 seconds of that I'm Not Your Guru movie every single time. But anyway, so just keep your eyes open and recognize that there's a big fat world of people out there that are able to teach you. And I think that you need to just realize that it's a beautiful thing. It's actually a really beautiful thing. So find someone that you feel is compassionate and cares and has integrity, meaning they practice what they preach. That's my biggest thing when it comes to a public speaker or a coach. Someone who's going to try to teach you something, please just know and pay attention. Like, do they live what they're talking about? Because if they're trying to tell you what you should be doing, but they're not living it, red flag. Red flag. Big red flag, in my opinion. Allows you to put your own spin on it, your signature one-off perspective that becomes a tool because it's your view. Absolutely, Michael. Absolutely. So it's a beautiful thing, guys. It really is. So remember that and keep that in mind because there are so many people out there that are there to help you, that are here to help you, that are put on this earth to help you. Like, I truly believe that. And so keep your eyes open, pay attention, ask questions, follow your instinct. If your gut tells you need to work with somebody, I'll tell you probably 9 out of 10 clients that I have that sign up with me literally are like, something just kept drawing me to you. Something kept drawing me to you. You kept popping up in front of me. Something drew me to you. And we've made massive changes in their lives. So that kind of shit happens for a reason. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm actually going to go to bed because I'm exhausted. It's only 8:15, but I'm doing it. So I'm going to go to sleep and I will talk to you guys soon. If anybody has any questions specifically about coaching, I obviously have a ton of advice or experience, I should say, not only coaching people, but also being around coaches and hiring them myself in every single area of my life for the past 4 or 5 years. So feel free to reach out if there's something specific you're looking for or like, whatever. I also have like a million book recommendations and different things like that. So I would be more than happy to help you, or you can always reply on this thread and I will help you. That's what I'm here for. None of this is really original. It all built off of something else. Absolutely, Catherine, 100%. None of it's original, and anybody who claims it's original, yeah. Okay, here's a perfect example really quickly. So Mel Robbins, I fucking love her. I think she's amazing. She created the 5-second rule. She put that name on that method that she started using, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Every time she needs to do something and she doesn't want to, she counts down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When she hits 1, she gets up and goes and does it. That is her way of getting her mindset in check. She uses that same method when it comes to controlling anxiety and depression. If you haven't read Mel Robbins, the 5-second rule, I suggest you actually buy the book. Her audiobook was very difficult for me to follow. Her book was easy for me to follow, or she has a shitload of videos on YouTube. Anyway, that concept is not original. The name and the title is original. She put her own spin on it based upon her own experiences. But like the concept of the 5-second rule is literally based off of the way that your brain functions. Literally it is based off of the scientific facts of how your brain functions. And she put it into a package, into a technique that she refers to as the 5-second rule. There's a perfect example of how it's not something that she made up and created out of the clear blue sky, but it is her own concept. Does that make sense? She's a great example of this. And it's a brilliant way. It's a very easy to do way of understanding how your brain functions. Basically what it is that you have 5 seconds. And I've heard this from Gary Vaynerchuk. I've heard this from Andy Frisella. I've heard this from Brendon Burchard. I've heard this from Tony Robbins, because it is a scientific fact that you have 5 seconds to make those split decisions. And within those 5 seconds is typically those little 5-second decisions are what add up to make your success. I believe the first time I ever heard that actually was Andy Frisella talking about it. But that is exactly what Mel Robbins has taken and put into a clean little package of the 5-second rule. It's where it's very easy for you to understand how you can utilize that scientific fact on how your brain is wired in order to help you in your life. So there's a great example of how it's not necessarily an original idea, but she figured out a way to package it into her own little thing that she has out there in the world. So anyways, guys, I just wanted to tell you guys that. Again, if anybody has any questions, let me know. And I will talk to you guys all soon. Have a great night. Oh, we can't finish. What's going on?